You know what I can't stand? I can't. I really can't stand conspiracy theorists, man. Like, I don't see anything wrong with questioning stuff. I really don't see anything wrong with questioning stuff. But when it gets to an extent where like people believe anything that somebody says, or believe anything without a shred of proof, without trying to hear any other side, and only listen to like the majority crowd to get their knowledge. Like this whole Travis Scott thing. And I've been like waiting and wanting to make a video on this so bad, but I've been like watching other people make videos, and I was like, you know what, just hold back, whatever. But like, I just feel like, and I feel like, and here's the thing, I don't even like fuck with Travis Scott that much musically and or person wise, but I feel like I got to be the one to take his side fully, in a way, because there's no middle ground in it. There's no, let's figure out what truly happened. Let's not, separate the blame possibly to multiple people. I just feel like it's just solely on him, mainly because his name is on the event and his name is Travis Scott. So it's the easiest thing to do is for somebody just to say, oh, it's his fault. And since this person said it's his fault, this person's going to say it's his fault, this person's going to say it's his fault, and it's all cancel Travis Scott. And I freaking hate it. And because it just lets you know how easy it is for that I feel that celebrities and most importantly black men are disposable in a way. I feel like this whole Travis Scott thing in a way, this whole DaBaby in a way, this whole Tory Lanez thing in a way is the I'm gonna say higher elites, I guess, testing the water to see how easy it is to cancel black men or cancel black people in general. And it's pretty easy because once you get your own people, your own fans, your own celebrities, your own people, your own colleagues to turn their back against you, or at least be silent. At least be silent and just let the process play out. Let Summer Jam kick you off, and your celebrity friends don't stand in solidarity, don't say anything, say, hey, he made a mistake. If you kick him off, I'm leaving too. We saw that with DaBaby when DaBaby made a mistake with the LGBT community and said the wrong words instead of his colleagues saying, "Hey, he made a mistake," and lightening him. They allow multiple festivals to kick him off and set an example for him. And I think Travis Scott was one of those people that ended up taking DaBaby's spot. And I feel as a community, as a music community, they should have stuck beside each other because you got to think about how easy it is for these companies to just like snip us off, to cut off celebrities, to cut off our entertainers, to cut off the people who made them as it is. There ain't no Summer Jam without majority black creators. There is no festivals without majority black creators. And they're testing the water to see how easy it is for them to pick and choose who they like and who they don't like, and to see if our celebrity, if they're like, the celebrities are going to like, push back and fight back. And as you can see, there hasn't been any pushback in a way. I know I'm rambling. I wanted to get into the whole Travis Scott demon energy. Travis Scott is a demon, the devil, soul to soul type stuff. And it's this YouTube video that I saw that really like, it really just, because here's the thing. Let me get out of this. Here's the thing. Here's this video that I saw. Where's it at? I think this is it. I think this is it. No, this isn't it? But I know where to get it. Give me 1 second. I want to start off with the right video. Because you have stuff like this. Duplicate tab. With people who make their entire channels, their entire living on the idea of celebrities selling their soul. And there's one guy who does it really well, and it's this guy. It's this Nitrous guy who will say stuff like, who will make several videos about anything random about a celebrity doing anything weird. Most randomly, a black celebrity. And I want you to like really like remember that it's always a black person or a black or someone that's like of, you know, they're a person of color that are ready to say that another black celebrity or another person of color sold their soul to the devil. And why is that? Why is it that a black person can never see another black person be genuinely successful without thinking that person either sold their soul to the devil or sold out or did something malicious or evil? Like, why is it that a lot of black people don't believe that another black person is talented enough to make it to the top without eating babies, without sacrificing their loved ones, without killing somebody? But these same people, like this guy right here, like I've seen a couple of his videos, and I swear to you, he makes so many videos about how black celebrities sold their soul to the devil or going crazy, or people of color. But I've never seen that one video about Post Malone. I've never seen that one video about Eminem. I've never seen one video about like a genuinely white celebrity that does all the crazy shit. No rocker, no country singer who like none of that. And a part of me actually believe it's some type of self-hate, to be honest. But I'm gonna get into like an excerpt of what this guy says, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Because like this guy, here's the thing: I don't even believe this guy truly believes what he's saying. I don't believe he really. I feel like he knows he has a base. He knows he has a whole bunch of people who believe this stuff, and he's feeding into their beliefs without even saying what his own stance is. Because he always says these blanketed statements about how they sold their soul to the devil, but he never expounds on what his beliefs are. Watch this.
Break it up into a couple different parts. Let me know in the comment section if y'all want to have like 2-3 parts so we can watch the entire interview together. Make sure I do leave a like down below if you're fucking with the video. But I'm very curious to see what he has to say after his major sacrifice, bro. He's
1 minute and 4 seconds in, already calling it a sacrifice. Not saying how he feels about it, not saying what his position is, but saying sacrifice, a blanketed statement. Let's keep going.
He's been exposed. I'm curious to know what he has to say. So we're about to check it out. All right, make sure I do leave a like down below and subscribe to the channel. Road to 1 milli, bro. We going crazy. But let's get into it. Travis Scott, a conversation with Travis Scott and Charlamagne the God. That's a big come up.
Different type of like emotions, you know, emotional roller coaster. I mean, it gets so hard because, you know, I always feel like connected with my fans. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I went through something, you know, and I feel like fans went through something and people's parents went through something. And it's, you know.
Yeah, people died. They did more than go through something. They went through death, my boy.
It really
hurts. Broken bones,
the community,
bro.
It hurts a city. And it's just been a lot of thoughts, you know, a lot of feelings, a lot of grieving, and just, you know, trying to wrap my head around it, you know. Mm-hmm. I really wanted to be there, and just, you know, wish you could just kind of like hold everyone, you know, kind of just heal them, talk to them, have conversations. You know, it just, you know, it really hurts, man.
What's your intention with this conversation? Like what do you hope to get out of this, or what do you hope to get out?
I don't personally have an intention. I just feel like something happened, and I feel like it's just I needed just a way to kind of like communicate, you know. Mm-hmm. One, you know, the families are grieving, you know. It's fans that experienced something, it's fans that came to a show. You know, and I feel like I just have like I've always been that person to always see things through. Mm-hmm. With the people that shared experiences with me. And, you know, it just, things happen, and, you know, I just kind of, you know, it's been such a time, and I've just been trying to just really figure things out, you know.
Mm-hmm. I know I'm sure you experienced remorse, but was there any hesitation to have this conversation because of the litigation you may be facing?
Well, I mean, yeah, of course you got people that's just like,
I'm gonna fast forward a little bit.
You know, but it's not about that. You know, a lot of thoughts, and luckily, you know, you have people around that you kind of bounce ideas, but it just been, you know, I've been doing this for such a long time, and
My son been in a room talking to the devil. He ain't coping with shit. My boy been in that room praying, saying, "Thank you for all my evil sent blessings, my boy." Yo.
4 minutes and 42 seconds in of part 1 of the video, and his entire assessment of what it is he's talking to the devil. He doesn't believe this. This guy does not believe this. He's feeding into a base that he knows believe this. He's feeding to the millions of people who believe these ideas, who believe separate ideas about, like, I think of it like this. I think of it as a triangle. And at the end, it all meets to a point. There's people who say that, hey, someone sold their soul to the devil, but these people do not agree with what that means. He knows that. So he's saying these blanketed statements of like, oh, he sold his soul to the devil, just to meet them all up in the middle for views, for money, for views, money, and subscribers. Basically what it is. But I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna elaborate on that further, but I'm gonna keep going.
You're welcome for the sacrifice.
you know, nothing like this ever happened, you know, so it just kind of like, you just kind of figuring out, and at the end of the day, like, these fans are your family, so you just feel like you lost something, and you just, you do these shows, honestly, to, you know, for people to have the best experience, you know, and just to think that something like this happened, you just trying to figure out, you know, just wrap everything around. And so even just for the first couple weeks, you know, it was just me sit down, but I had to really channel these emotions to just remember, like, you know, if no one's gonna be a voice for these people, I gotta like kind of step up and kind of like be a voice to just figure out that, you know, this doesn't happen in the future, it just shows, period. You know what I'm saying? Or figure out the bottom solution of what's going on and just try to ensure people, you know, safety and what they're doing, you know.
You said you was in the room, but then people saw you at the golf course.
Yeah,
with Michael Jordan,
yeah.
Mark Wahlberg. What was that?
It was just Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and they were there. You know, it was just good people to have around in the community. And, you know, that was just more like a personal time, just trying to get around things like some fan came and asked for a photo.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah.
Now, let's talk about that night, man. When did you find out things got as bad as they did? Now, that's the question everybody wants to know.
Yeah, it wasn't really until like minutes until like the press conference until I figured out exactly what happened. You know, even after the show, you know, you just kind of hearing things, but you don't know. I didn't know the exact details until.
So you're telling me that you were hearing shit since after the show, my boy? You were hearing shit since after the show.
You see how he's trying his best to try and pick this apart? Like, dude has no idea what he's even saying right now. You were hearing shit until after this. Like, what are you talking about? What are you saying? He's trying his best to try and pick it apart. He doesn't even have his own assessment of what's going on or what happened. But he knows that if he trashes Travis Scott, he's going to get all these people to like, to comment, subscribe, to comment, because all these people automatically believe this. And he's just doing his best to feed into this fester of idiocy in a way.
After the show, like right after the show, you heard shit. Roddy Ricch knew the details. He knew the details. He knew the families. He knew everybody to send the money to. Drake didn't know shit. He was at the strip club. He ain't give a fuck. But for you to hear it right after the show and not say anything until a day later, not do anything until, it speaks volumes, my boy. Are you truly remorseful as you say you are? It speaks volumes.
Like, what is he supposed to do? Like, literally 10 people died. You really want somebody to speak, like, the same day somebody died. And when he finally does speak, it's automatically bashed. It's automatically like, he didn't say this right. He didn't say this right. He didn't apologize right. Like, how does him speaking, or when he speaks, because one, if you would speak at the same time, only thing you guys would have said, he's taking away from the impact of the victims and he's trying to cover his ass. That's the only thing he would have said if he would have spoke up that same night. Because one, he doesn't have the information. He doesn't really know what's going on. Why would he speak the same night? Why would he not speak the day after? And because he spoke the day after, it should affect how remorseful he is now. Like, he doesn't even know what he's saying right now. He's just doing it just to say just to fucking feed into the base of what he's saying right now, of the people he's watching. But let's keep it going.
Minutes before the press conference. And even at that moment, you kind of just like, well, you know, what? Like, you know, you just went through something and it's just like, well, what? You know.
So you didn't know people had actually passed away and
Nah,
stuff?
nah.
Wow.
Until minutes before, you know, which is, yeah, you know, and the thing is, like, you know, people pass out, you know, people, you know, things happen at concerts, but something like that, it's just like.
It's crazy.
Yeah, people said they collectively heard folks screaming help every time you stopped the song to get your attention. Did you hear any of those screams?
Nah, man. And you know, it's so crazy because I'm that artist too. Like, you know, anytime you can or something like that, you want.
So people are collectively saying, everybody in this crowd is saying they heard help, help, help every single time the song ended. Everyone except for you. Camera directors heard it, saw it. Ambulances were in the crowd. Full ass ambulance trucks were in the crowd. Everybody saw something, heard something, except for you.
Want to stop the show. You want to make sure, you know, fans get the proper attention they need, you know. And anytime I could see anything like that, I did, you know. You know, I stopped like a couple times to just make sure everybody was okay. And I just really.
So that defeats everything that he just said. Dude just said, oh, everybody heard everything, but you didn't hear anything. He didn't believe that he didn't hear anything. Well, Travis Scott just said, yeah, I heard some stuff. Every time I saw something that was a little bit suspicious, I stopped the show. And there is videos of him stopping the show from what he could see. He saw an ambulance. He didn't get the full scope of what was going on. And this is crazy that I have to be the one to solely defend. I feel like I have to be the one to solely defend Travis Scott because I feel like in a way I can't even be like fully objective. I feel like the only way for me to be objective is to fully like play victim's advocate and completely defend Travis Scott because there's no one being the middle ground. Literally no one. I feel like if I'm the only one being the middle ground, then it's fucking nothing. I feel like there's got to be some pushback to these extremists that fully believe 100 without a doubt that he's solely responsible for 10 people dying. Because honestly, it's the easy thing to do. There's no, let's research and see who's in charge. Let's interview other artists to see what it's like to be on stage at that magnitude. There's none of that. It's just a witch hunt in a way. But let's keep going.
Really just go off the, you know, the fans' energy as a collective, you know, call and response. And I just didn't hear that. You know, I got music, I got my in-ears, but I just didn't hear that, you know?
Break that down a little more. Like nobody knows what it's like being on stage except for other artists. So speak to us from that perspective of what you can see and hear. It was like, what, 50,000 people?
Yeah, I mean, you got like a venue, you know, filled with like 50,000 people. But it's like a sea. You got lights, you got sound, you got pyro, you got your in-ears, you got your sound, you got your mic, you know, got the music, you got band, there's all type of, you know.
He don't like that.
Stuff going on.
He doesn't like that.
It's hard to tell excitement from danger, so to speak.
Of course. Everything kind of just sounds the same. And at the end of the day, you just hear music. You know, and when you do, you just hear amongst of things, you know. But when you're in a show, you just enter the show, and anytime you can feel anything close to you, you know, you try to like definitely get to that.
So as an artist, how much can you actually, I guess, help in that position?
You can only help what you can see, you know what I mean? And then what you know,
I don't fuck with this interview, bro. I really don't fuck with this interview. I'm gonna let y'all know right now. We're gonna watch this entire interview through. But what it seems to me like, it seems like this is an entire conversation that's kind of guiding him to answer the questions that are gonna make him look better.
You see, I'm gonna tell you how that's bullshit. That is not. It's not a guided. It's a question. A question is guided to answer certain things to get a different idea and different perspectives. I see how somebody might see it as a way of him to help him out, but when Charlamagne asked this question, this is him asking a question to see for a different perspective, because everyone's always saying, "Oh, Travis Scott should have heard it. Travis Scott should have heard it." But But at the end of the day, all these people saying this, like this dumbass has never been on the stage, has never like been around a magnitude of that many people, never looked down and see that many people, never had an earpiece in, never had a sound guy, never had a video guy, never had these people going on surrounding him. But you can see how visibly upset he's getting, the fact that he's got to be open to a new perspective, and he wants Charlemagne to just be like everybody else and just witch hunt and just keep asking him questions like framed questions. Because if Charlemagne would have framed this question to be like, you should have heard it, he wouldn't have been saying this right now. But only thing that question was doing, saying, hey, because nobody knows, and as Charlemagne's being objective, saying nobody knows what it's like to be an artist on stage. Nobody knows what it likes to be an artist on stage. So tell me what it's like. Tell me what it's like to give a different perspective besides, hey, you're a murderer. You should be in charge of this. You should have the bodies on you. You should be solely responsible. And when people heard Charlemagne like trying to give a different perspective to people, they couldn't take it. This guy can't take it. Because why? It disrupts his base. It disrupts what he believes in. It disrupts what he can talk about. So instead of saying he doesn't believe that, he's saying, oh, it's rigged, it's faked, it's the question is just like trying to like make him seem like in a good light, not to bring light to a different perspective. No, it's crooked. That's how he slithers out of it. But I'm gonna let him keep going.
Make it seem like it wasn't his fault.
Why would he try and make it his fault? Why would I sit down, what sense is that? Make it seem like it wasn't his fault? One, it's not his fault. Majority of it is not his fault. But this is, you see how it was? You see how he said that? Oh, he's trying to make it seem like it wasn't his fault. And he's trying to make it seem like it wasn't his fault. Oh, but you're upset that he's making a question to get a different perspective. But oh, you see how he's framing it? Like, he made this entire video, he's 10 minutes in, and he's already had this preconceived notion that it's Travis Scott's fault, and if anything deviates from that, it's a problem. It's crooked. It's a crooked interview. It's folded and molded to fit a different narrative than what I believe in. So if I hear a question that opens the idea that my idea might be wrong, you know, it's staged. It's fucked. You know what I'm saying? And just him completely saying, let him say it again.
Look better. It seems like this is an entire conversation that's kind of guiding him to answer the questions that
are not aligned with mine. Period. I don't believe what he's saying, or I do. Maybe I do believe what he's saying, but I know my audience doesn't. So if I agree with them, it's gonna go haywire. But I'm gonna let him keep talking.
We're gonna make him look better. Make it seem like it wasn't his fault. He said, so explain what it's like on stage. Because only other artists know. Nobody else would know except for other artists.
Do you know? How would you know? Like, what's wrong with that statement?
That makes it seem like it's okay to be ignoring the crowd. My nigga, there are ambulances in the crowd. And you're gonna ignore that? My nigga? An ambulance in the crowd. You're gonna ignore that? Come on, bro.
He didn't.
In the crowd, driving in the crowd. An ambulance truck is driving through the crowd and you're gonna ignore that. Well, because the music and the band and my in-ears and all that bullshit that you just said? Come on, bro. Come on, bro. This interview is a guided interview. They prepare the questions and he knows the answers. That's what it is. This is what artists do all the time. They prepare the questions so that the artists know the answers and it makes them look good on the camera. It makes them look better. Proves their shit like that. Let's continue though. We're gonna see what else he has to say.
You know what I'm saying? Whenever somebody tell you to stop, you just stop. But just wasn't it.
It wasn't that night, huh? You know, raging has been a part of the culture, you know, of your shows. You know, you didn't on this night, but in the past, you've encouraged, I guess, the kind of energy that could have led to something like this happening.
Let's deviate, because I don't want to get too far away from. I'm gonna keep going with this, but since he did bring up only artists know, let's go to an artist that, like Hopsin, because Hopsin spoke on this, and Hopsin speaks about what it's like to be on stage. But it's crazy how like when you get a different perspective, and he knows when you get a different perspective from like someone that's reputable, like another artist speaking up, that it can completely deflate what I believe in, because he knows he has no experience being on stage. And if he knows, if another artist speaks up and says, hey, this is actually what it's like, his whole reason for making the video is done, is dead. So he's automatically, look how offended he got by the idea of somebody giving a different perspective, you know what I'm saying? So let's hear what Hopsin has to say about the whole Travis Scott incident and see what another artist who deals with large crowds has to say.
Not a church. Travis Scott is not the only artist to have seen people pass out and not have given a fuck. And maybe he didn't see it. There's a lot of people at every single concert. Every concert that I've ever had, motherfuckers pass out.
Mm-hmm.
Every concert. Drunk motherfuckers high off of everything you could fucking think of. And you know what? Rappers don't have time to micromanage their fans. They don't have time to micromanage everybody. And you know what? When we show up to concerts, we want people to be on some wild shit. That makes the concert more fun to us. It makes the concert more fun when people are wilding out. But we don't want nobody to die. Of course. When we say that shit, we don't want nobody to die. You don't expect for that to happen. But yeah, you want motherfuckers sweating. You want mosh pits to happen. You want whatever. And that's just a vibe. But you don't, of course, everybody should understand how far to go with it. Like you don't pull out guns in a concert, knives, and start stabbing people and shit like that. But here's what's stupid. Here's all these motherfuckers who are talking. They ain't never been on a goddamn stage in their fucking life.
This guy.
Everybody who has something to say about Travis Scott, they ain't never been. Let me tell all of you guys something. They have never been on a fucking stage in their fucking life. Everybody's watching from the stands, going what he should have done, what they should have done. And here's the reality. Here's the reality.
Talk to him.
When you're on a stage, whether you're white, there's different stages, of course, and it looked like he was up pretty high, and especially with how big that fucking concert was. Let's just say 50,000 people. 50,000 people. When you are up on something seeing 50,000 people, you are not able to see the little small areas of crowds and zoom in to go, oh shit, someone passed out. You don't know what the fuck is going on. You see 50,000 people. So what are you supposed? And then from somebody's cell phone footage, when they're looking and shit, they're like, "Oh, look at Travis Scott. He looked right at us." You don't know that he was looking at you. And I'm gonna tell you, he saw 50,000 people wherever the fuck he was standing. He saw 50,000 people. So from that perspective of the cell phone, where it looks so personal and intimate, like how could he not care? I'm telling you, he did not fucking know like you probably think that he would have known. And it feels like the concerts, the footage, like it was very quiet and silent. Feels like it was silent when you watch it, but you're hearing all the people around gossip, like, oh my God, this and that, oh my God, this and that. But that's how cell phone footage also captures things. When you're at a concert and you're filming people on the stage and you're singing along, in the moment when you're singing along, you feel like you can't be heard amongst the loud music and everybody else singing along. When you play it back on your cell phone, you only hear what was in that little radius of whatever the cell phone captured.
That little bubble.
You can clearly hear the music, but you hear yourself louder. You hear yourself louder. You hear the people around louder. You hear a lot of the gossip. You can still hear the music, of course. But these are just like personal, intimate POV moments where it looks, these are from the fans' perspective. These are from the fans' perspective. And like the dude, come on, dude. I'm going to tell you right now, if I was at a concert and there was 50,000 people performing and I see how many people passed out, I don't know. Fucking 10 people versus the fucking 50,000 that were there. If there was a festival going on, I wouldn't have stopped either. You don't stop a whole goddamn concert. You don't stop a whole you can't see what's going on in there, man. And it's hip hop, dude. It's hip hop. Go to church. Go somewhere else, dude. It's hip hop, man. It's hip hop. Every fucking rapper who's ever said the F word and who's not giving.
Like, think about it, man. Think about stuff like that. Like, we've all been to church. Well, some of us been in church. I've been in church where there's like 50 people in church, and I can barely see what's going on when I stand up on the pew and read my little Bible verse. Hopsin has way less fans and followers, and he gets it. Travis Scott had 50,000. Hopsin probably had 5,000. Probably deal with the exact same thing. the exact same thing. So this is someone who's had significantly less people at his crowds, like Hobson, and he still understands the idea. Now think about what Hobson's saying, the fact that he still can't see people sometimes, than what Travis Scott had to deal with. But anyway, this is what offended this guy so much. Another artist, giving their own perspective, offended this guy so much that like he damn near meltdown. But let's continue.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that contributed to the energy of this night?
Yeah, I think, it's something I've been working on, for a while, of just creating these experiences and trying to show like the experiences happening in a safe environment. Mm-hmm. Us as artists, we trust, professionals to make sure that, things happen and people leave, safely, you know what I'm saying? And this night was just like a regular show, mm-hmm. It felt like to me. As far as like, the energy, people, it didn't feel like it was like, people didn't show up there to just be harmful. Mm-hmm. People just, I think, showed up to have a good time, and then, something unfortunate happened. And I think we really just got to figure out, what that was,
Does raging make it harder to identify
with exactly what that was, bro? Over here communicating with the devil, bro.
Idiot.
You know exactly what that was.
A moron. He just said all that, and all thing he can respond with, oh, it's the devil. Here's the funny thing about people saying it's the devil. And this is what this guy does. Like, he does it pretty good when he makes these blanketed statements like communicating with the devil, sold their soul, and all this stuff like that. He knows that out of the millions of people that believe, let's say a statement like people sold their soul to the devil, a certain percentage of those people who believe statements like people sold their soul, believe selling your soul means to, let's say, just get rid of your morals and just, believe and get rid of your morals and like do whatever you can just to make money. That's what some people believe selling your soul means. Another people who believe selling your soul means you literally killed your family member or got somebody to kill your family member for you to get famous. As if like you went to the label and said, hey, I'll kill my mom, or I'll let you kill my grandpa for me to get famous. Or the label goes, how bad do you want to be famous? Oh, we're going to have to kill them just to know how serious you are to be famous. That way you're indebted to us. And other people actually believe you bent over backwards and had sex with a man. A certain amount of people who believe selling your soul means that you went in the room, pulled your pants down, and just had sex with a man for money or for fame. That's what some people believe. And the other certain amount of people believe that selling your soul actually means you walk into hell or you go into an office and the devil is sitting behind a desk with a contract saying, give me your soul. Just give me your soul. He knows this. And he makes these statements knowing there's so many people that believes without saying what he even believes or what he truly believes. If you go into the comments, there's so many people who saying so much different stuff about what selling your soul means. But he keeps it blanketed so he can keep these sheep in the comments, sheeps in the likes, sheeps talk about how smart he is, how smart you are for knowing all this.
Going wrong in the crowd?
Well, I think, raging is just they have a textbook, definition, but, in concerts, we've grown it to be just an experience of having fun. It's not about just, harm. Mm-hmm. It's not about that. It's about just letting go and having fun. Help others, love each other. It's not about just, harm. Mm-hmm. That's not what it's all about. The show isn't just rambunctious for an hour. Mm-hmm. That's not what it is.
That's exactly what it was, bro.
So, I understand, you don't want it to get too out of hand.
Yeah, but the energy is high, mm-hmm. and that's why you want to just make sure that, people are surrounded, to make sure that people are just having the best experience, you know what I'm saying? I can't say the energy is high, but you make sure that people are there for people to have like the best experience and leave.
Yeah, you want people to have a good time. You don't want people to get hurt
at all.
Yeah. And God forbid, pass away. And it's typical for you to stop a show to make sure fans in the crowd get the help they need. There's even footage of that night of you doing that during the set. Were you unable to sense like a difference in urgency this time around?
I mean, yeah, because you stop the show, but if someone's gonna if it's something detrimental, somebody's gonna let you know. you know, or, you know, the show just stopped. And, you know, that just wasn't the case, you know. I just kind of stopped the show, you know, you just ask, you have a call and response with the fans. You try to, you know, generally get a response, but, you know, if you don't get like a hard stop, you know, it's just, you can't, you just go off of what's going on, you know, which makes it so, like, so crazy, because, like, you know, if I feel like, you know, anyone would have known, it would have just been like, it wouldn't have got far, you know.
Mm-hmm. Well, what headspace were you in when you posted that initial response video?
I mean, it was, I think it had to have been the night of, you know. So I was just in a headspace of just trying to get a communication out to my fans, you know. I had little to no information, you know, so I was just trying to figure it out and just communicate to them, you know. Yeah, I was just reacting just literally just to get something to the fans, you know. It's people that showed up.
Do you regret that initial video? Do you regret reacting in that way, or not having all the information before you said something?
I mean, yeah, because, you know, you just don't know what's going on, but at the end of the day, I just wanted to get something out. You know, how my message came out, I can't, you know, I can only go off what I know, but my true intentions of it, you know, was really just trying to get a message across, and, you know, really wanted to just touch to the fans, touch to the families, you know, that we here, we grieving, and we'll get through this, you know, through this process.
So what did you know in that?
Nigga did not say any of that in his video, bro. He did not say shit. For the fans that lost it, bro, 10 people, my guy. 10 people died.
Yep.
8 people died there. 2 were confirmed after. One of them was brain dead, and one of them was a 9-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
And you're telling me that you didn't know that people were dying?
That's what he said. That's what he said, but he can't accept that. Like he's telling you, I did not hear it. And like I showed you guys, another artist telling you that it's damn near impossible to know what's really going on unless somebody's telling you in the ear, like, what's going on. But like he can't accept, like, because he's so inexperienced that he's sticking to his guns no matter what. Because he's not trying to hear no other artist's opinion. He doesn't want it, like he's obviously not listening to Travis Scott saying what it's actually like, but he's like taking his own feelings to be professional enough to know what's going on or what happened. Because that's what he knows everybody's angry at Travis Scott. He knows the views, or if he's clowning, angry too at Travis Scott. So yeah, of course he's going to keep reigniting this now the stereotype that he didn't care what was going on, because if he comes to a reasonable understanding, these 72,000 views and these 4,000 likes turn to 20,000 views and 1,000 likes, because it's honestly it's views and money over integrity, over being a real person, over being understanding, over, like, you know. But look at this guy. Look at this guy. Like, he does not believe what he's saying. He does not believe what he's saying.
There have been reports that police saying that they told Live Nation to, or whatever the label is, the company is, Live Nation, to shut it down. They didn't shut it down. They didn't stop the show.
You really think? You know, it's funny that the cops. You feel like a cop or the police has to ask to shut down a show. You think the police has to ask to shut down a show? You think the police needs permission to shut down a show if the police feel like it's a danger to public safety? You think the police needs to, hey, can you please shut down the show because people are dying? Can you please stop the show because people are dying? You think the cops really have that? Okay, just.
We have videos of people going to cameramen saying that there's somebody dying. I know
Travis Scott's not a cameraman.
that these fucking cameramen have microphones in their goddamn ear to communicate something like that. I know they do. Everybody in the fucking show has excuse my language, has a walkie-talkie, a mic in their ear. Everybody has. They have to be in coordination. All right, camera 27, we're gonna need you to pan. They need to be in coordination. That's the way it is. But you didn't know anything, right?
First video.
I mean, at that time, I think we just knew that, people passed.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't know how. That it was, the news. I think police came out and said something. You're just going off of what you're seeing in the news. You don't really know nothing. And then as the days go on, you start collecting a little bit more information.
They said there was like chaos and trampling being reported since the early afternoon, like hours before the show even started. Were you informed of any of that ahead of time?
Well, no, the police, he came and to my trailer and he congratulated me on
The water is gone, my boy.
the event and having something like this in Houston. He let me know that it was mishap at the merch booth earlier. They shut it down, but they opened it back up. They seemed to got it under control. He was gonna step out and just let us know if we need anything. Have a good show. That was it.
A lot of the criticism, from the tragedy, they say, is in the poor planning and understaffing of the event. As an artist, do you have any involvement in any of that?
Well, I mean, we just
Asking a different perspective. Just asking a different perspective. Just asking a clear question. Did you have involvement in the planning and any of this? Did you have involvement? Let's see how he reacts to him just asking, hey, were you in charge of this?
As an artist, you just do the creative. And for this being my festival, I got...
Who doesn't know that?
Bring artists, creatively produce it. And, we just trust in, the professionals to kind of just make sure that people, taken care of and, leave it safely. I just can control what I can on the stage, and then, you have the professionals control what they can in the crowd, It's just hard, because as an artist, you want to have, the best shows, and you want to have the best experiences, and you link with professionals to handle that side of it, and you want to know what's going on. I think that's what we got to figure out, and figure out what happened there, how it happened,
You spoke on the Houston police chief. His name is Troy Finner. He came to you, and he said he voiced concerns over the crowd energy. So what did you and your team do with that information? What you got?
Well, I think that's what the media. I think that's what the media said, but I think it read to more so that he wanted us to. He knew that our crowd was, the type of crowd that comes. It comes at a heavy crowd, so to communicate with him if we were doing anything outside of the week's itinerary, That week we were doing a lot of charity stuff prior to the festival, so we didn't do anything outside of what we had on our itinerary let me know. But we didn't even get to that point.
It's crazy, just being there kicking it with you for a little bit. I can see that, this is weighing real heavy on you.
Yeah.
So how much do you feel a sense of responsibility for what happened that night?
Well, fans come to the show and have a good experience, and I have a responsibility to figure out what happened here. I have a responsibility to figure out the solution, and I gotta, and hopefully this takes a first step into, us as artists, having that more insight of what's going on, you know what I'm saying? And, the professionals to kind of, surround and figure out more of an intel, whether it's tech, whether it's, more of a response, whether it's whatever the problem is, to figure out that and in the future, moving forward in concert safety, make sure this never happen again,
But let's talk about those professionals.
Bro, he didn't even answer the question. He asked about accountability. But look, man, I'm going to end part 1 right here, okay? If you guys do want to continue watching this, let me know in the comment section for part 2, and we're going to continue right where we left off, all right? I know there's some questions in here about people saying that the show was satanic and that it was a sacrifice. So I might cut straight to that interesting part, you feel me? Because I don't want to sit here and just drag it on for too long. I want to get to the juicy shit. But look, I'm going to end this video right here. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you leave a like down below and subscribe to the channel.
This guy plans on making he made a part 2 here. I think he made a 3 and maybe a 4 now. But that's basically what this guy's base is. You know what's funny about when people say this type of stuff about how artists don't care during the interviews, and how like if an artist showed up in a suit and tie and spoke nothing but clean English and read off cue cards and didn't stutter, they would still say, "Oh, look at him. He got all nice and freshed up. He's trying to make himself look good." But if an artist just shows up like how Travis Scott showed up, stutters, just speaks from the heart to an extent, they'll say, "Oh, he doesn't care. Look how he's sitting. Look how he's talking. He couldn't even have the decency to get cleaned up in a way." I've seen these on Twitter. I've seen the exact same thing. I see it on Twitter. I've seen it on Instagram. I've seen it on Facebook. I've seen it in the YouTube comments. And that's just something else I wanted to say about. I don't know how much I've been recording, but I'll
show you that clip right there.
Go over to this guy. This is, yeah.
And then he looks down, and then he looks up again. Y'all saw that? Now this is slow motion. Watch how he turns around. And something like possesses him, literally. It's not no flashing lights, none of that. Look, watch. And then he looks up a little bit, and he knows it's coming. Boom. That's insane. That's some shit right there. There you go again. Nobody can.
But girl, let people tell it online. They'll say, "Oh, that's a sweater. Somebody threw a sweater. Somebody threw a water bottle. That's water. Oh, that's a smoke from the smoke machine that's reflecting off the moon and bouncing back off the fog of the lake." Or
you see how any like reasonable answer, it sounds crazy to these type of people? Any reasonable answer sounds crazy. And you see how he's mimicking and making fun of something that's reasonable, that makes sense, that is in the realm of possibility of like how humans and Earth interacts with each other. But oh no, ghosts makes more sense. Demons makes more sense. Sacrifices makes more sense. And you have these people that 218,000 likes. I mean views. 218,000. 218,000. Brainwashing people, helping to brainwash people, helping to spread these bullshit narratives. Because I know people like this will watch it.
Something, you know, swamp gas. It's like, let them say, girl, that's a demon in the house. That night, it was demon energy all around that. Travis Scott's own t-shirt that he wore of the event had a portal of demons coming out of it. Let us not forget that how quickly the Travis Scott fans forget. Then you got me, someone who puts out decent music, can't get a like or subscriber on that, save my life. Like spending thousands of dollars on a music video, but can't get a like or comment, save my life. So I'm gonna
Cause you're trash.
Link it down below. You can check that out. Anyways, girl, you cannot tell me that's not some demon energy, girl. I'm not saying that Travis Scott is a demon. What I'm saying is that.
But people are saying he's a demon. You see how he's quick to like renege on what he's saying? He's like again, these blanketed statements. I'm not saying he's a demon. I'm not saying it's a sacrifice. I'm saying it's demon energy. That's just blanket over, so anybody who believes anything different kind of still can gravitate towards me, and I can get 218,000 views and 8,000 likes.
That he was so hyped up that he had possessed by a demon that night, on top of the
Why is it the Christians and religious people are the most susceptible to believing or feeling like people can be taken over by demons? Like, y'all really are claim to be so religious and so into it with God and believe in God, Jesus, and heaven, but you're also the weakest when it comes to getting corrupted. You're the weakest when it comes to getting corrupted. The people that believes I have the strength of God, I have God on my side to protect me, are always the first ones to claim that, oh, demons can get inside of you, and demons can corrupt you, and demons can kill people, and demons can do all this. I'm agnostic. I ain't feel a demon get my ass yet. Somebody help me up with that.
Energy of the room and the concert, the adrenaline of wanting to keep going. You know, you cannot sit there and tell me that you being on stage with over 500,000 people chanting your name doesn't
50,000. 50,000.
make you somewhat big-headed and I'm gonna keep going.
Alright, I'm done. I'm done with this guy. I'm done with this guy. But that's, I don't want to make this video too long. I know this video is probably over 30 minutes. I'll make a part 2 again. So, I'll make a part 2.
That's good, y'all. Welcome back to another.
I'll definitely make a part 2 of this guy, of this idiot. Yeah, I'll make a part 2. But I'll probably record it like simultaneously and upload it tomorrow or same time today. And I just don't want this one video to be too long. I just don't want this one video to be too long. So I'll stop it here and you know, do it simultaneously. Thanks for watching, guys. This has been Perseus Westbrooks, or just West, whatever you want to call me. Peace.